students. So coming to the first application of the greedy method, that is a job sequencing problem with let me take with deadline. Job sequencing problem with deadline. So based on the deadlines, we are finding the jobs sequencing. So before going to know about this job sequencing problem with deadline, we have to follow some points. So the points that should be you have to follow is the first point. So whatever the job sequencing problem we are taking, so in that suppose we have n jobs, that is J1, J2, J3 up to Jn. Suppose there are n jobs. So these n jobs are associated with some deadlines. Deadlines D1, D2, D3 up to Dn and some profits. So that is a P1, P2, P3 up to Pn. So these are the points that you have to remember in the job sequencing. So whatever the job sequencing you are taking, so in this problem we have to consider, let us take n jobs. So this n jobs is having some deadlines and profits. So each job is having one deadline and each deadline is based upon the profit. Okay, so after the completion of the deadline, what is the profit that it gains? So after the completion of the job in that particular deadline, what is the profit it gains? So that we have to find out. So here the profit will be used to earn if the job is completed on or before deadline. So if job completes before deadline, then the profit is earned. Okay, so whenever this job has completed before that deadline, then only this profit will be earned. So here we have to assume that each job takes a unit time to complete. So what is the main objective of this job sequencing problem? The objective of this is to earn maximum profit. So whoever doing the work and whatever we are doing that, so we are just thinking about the profits only. So that's why the objective of here in the job sequencing problem is we have to earn maximum profit when only one job can be scheduled or processed at any given time. So that you have to be remember. So these are the points you have to be remember for finding out the job sequencing problem with deadline. So let us take some jobs, and for the jobs you have to take some deadlines, and then for deadlines after the completion of the deadline you will get some profit. Okay, so the main aim of here we have to earn the maximum profit for that jobs. So which jobs, if you do a job sequencing, one job after another job, so if we do how many jobs we can do by earning the maximum profit, that we have to be decided, that we have to be find out. Now let us see, let us consider one example for job sequencing problem with deadlines. So let me take the example. So let us consider 5 jobs. First the index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 jobs. So jobs I am taking A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So the 5 jobs I have taken. Now the deadlines for this job. Deadlines 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So these are the deadlines for the job. And now coming to the profit that earned for each job. 60, 100, 20, 40, 20. So these are all the related profits after completion of the deadline, on or before completion of the deadline, the profit that is earned by job A1 and the job A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, so first first let me take the pseudocode for this job sequencing algorithm, means the algorithm for this job sequencing problem. Then you will understand how we can calculate the job sequencing problem. First let me write the pseudocode. So for I is equal to 1 to n do. So with this help of this algorithm, I will explain how we are going to be calculate this problem. First I'm simply writing the pseudocode. After that I will explain with this example. For I is equal to 1 to n do, set k is equal to minimum of d max comma deadline of I. Now checking while this whatever the k that is greater than or equal to 1, we have to do if time slot of k is empty. So whenever the time slot of k is empty, then I have to fill the time slot. Time slot of k is equal to job of I. So the time slot of A has to be filled with job of I, and break the condition and if. So after this statement is break, and you have to check whether this condition is not true. Set k is equal to k minus 1 and while and for. So this is an algorithm. Now let us see the example. So here this is the example I am taking. So here I have to find out the maximum profit for the jobs. So let me take the first step. So first assign these jobs according to their profits in descending order. First sort the jobs. Sort the jobs according to profit in descending order. Okay, now I am just sorting the job. So whatever the table here it is there, I am just sorting in descending order according to the profit. Index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now coming to the jobs, deadlines and profit. Okay, so in this, what is this? First I am writing the profit. The maximum profit here is 100, next 60, next 40, 20, 20. And the relating deadlines for this is 1, 2, and for 40, 2, and 20, this is a 3, 1. And their associated jobs are A2, A1, A4, and this is A3, A5. So here the A3 is A5 is having both are having the same profit. So you can assign according to their jobs. So here A3 is first, after that A5. So this is the table that I arranged. I sort the elements in descending order according to their profits. Now let us start with the problem. So this is the pseudocode and this is the table. So you just look at the pseudocode and the table. So I'm keeping this here. Okay. So first let me start. First consider this. Step 1. So here I want to take first what is the maximum deadline value that is present here. What is the maximum deadline value? So the maximum deadline value is 3 here. So I am making D maximum is equal to 3. And what are the total number of jobs here present? A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So total number of jobs, that is the N I am saying. N is equal to 5. So the maximum deadline is 3 and N is equal to 5. So I am taking the maximum deadline D max. So D max is equal to 3. So we will have 3 slots, because D max is equal to 3 means only 3 slots are there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. So only 3 slots are there. So to keep track of free time slots, so first set the time slots. time slot and the relating status. So the D max is 3. So you make 3 time slots. 1, 2, 3. So starting you have to make all the status as empty. I make all the slots as empty. So whenever the D max is equal to 5 here, so whenever the D max is 3 and n is equal to 5, so first look at the job 1. Okay, so this is the table. So starting at index 1. So here the first we have to look at job A2. So what is the deadline for A2? 1. So look at job A2 and deadline is 1. So to earn the profit we have to complete the time slot 1. So within the time slot 1 we have to complete this A2. So within time slot 1 we have to complete this A2 job. Next, step 2. So step 2 similarly look at job A1. Now look at job A1. So what is the deadline for A1? What is the deadline for A1? 2. So we have to complete within time slot 2, on or before 2. Next, step 3. Okay, so in the step 3 look at job. So this is also 2. So you can also complete A4. Either you can select A1 or A4 because both are the deadlines is the same. So you can go for A1 or A4. Now here I am checking for A3. Now the job A3 deadline is 3 and it has to be complete within the time slot 3. So here the time slot 1, A2 has to be completed. Next A1 has, and next A3 has to be completed. So here our objective is to select jobs that will give us higher profit. So the main objective is here we have to select jobs that will give us higher profit. So that is the main aim. So only the 3 time slots, within the 3 time slots which jobs will be assigned here, occupy here, those jobs will give the maximum profits. So in this total 5 jobs I have to take only 3. Because why I am taking only 3? Because the deadline, the maximum deadline value here is 3. So all the remaining 1 here, the same numbers 1 and the same 2. So I can take either, I can choose either this or this based on these conditions, and I can choose and this or this based on this condition, and this 3. So total the maximum deadline here is 3. So that's why I'm taking only 3 time slots. So I have to choose only the 3 jobs that gives a maximum profit. Okay, so let us start that. So first step 1, again writing here step 1. So first in the step 1, first I am selecting the index 1. I is equal to, so this is I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have to be select. So first check the condition. For I is equal to 1 to n, we have to set this value. First I am taking job J2. So this is I am taking job A2. Okay, so now here the index is, what is the index value of A2? I is equal to 1. So for I is equal to 1, K should be, see the algorithm, K is equal to, set K is equal to minimum of D max, comma, deadline of I. Now K is equal to minimum of, what is the D max? What is the D max here? So I'm for every problem the D max is equal to, maximum deadline is 3 and n is equal to 5. Up to 5 we have to be do. So minimum D max is 3 and deadline of I is 1. K is equal to minimum of 3. What is the deadline of 1? Deadline of 1 is, so deadline of first one deadline is 1. So this I is equal to 1. Deadline of I, this is I. Deadline of 1 is 1. So what is the minimum value here? Now k is equal to 1. Because minimum of 3, 1, the minimum value is 1. So now check. So while k is greater than or equal to 1, that is k is greater than or equal to 1. That means 1 is greater than or equal to 1. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Okay. So whenever this condition is true, you have to enter this while loop. So then you have to check. You have to check time slot. That is the time slot of k. K is 1, right? Time slot of 1 is empty. Is time slot of 1 is empty or not? We have to check. So starting it is empty. Everything is empty. So time slot 1, 2, 3. Status. So starting everything is empty. Okay. Everything is empty. Now check what is the status of 1. Time slot of 1 is empty. Yes, this is empty. So whenever it is empty, you have to assign time slot of 1 is equal to job of I. Job of I means, what is the I value here? Job of 1. Job of 1. So what is the job of 1? A2. So now assign time slot of 1 is equal to A2. So A2 should be placed in status. Okay. So now fill the time slot 1 with A2. Okay. Now coming to the step 2. So next step 2, the index I is equal to 2. So I is equal to 2 means here I am talking about job A1. So job A1. Now check, index I is equal to 2. So first enter the algorithm. For I is equal to 2, what is the k value? K is equal to minimum of D max comma deadline of I. So k is equal to minimum of, what is the D max? For everything D max is the deadline of maximum is 3. Deadline of I means 2. Then k is equal to minimum of 3 comma, what is the deadline of 2? Deadline of 2 is 2. Just enter 2. So what is the minimum value here? K is equal to minimum of 3 comma 2 is 2. Now check. While k is greater than or equal to 1 or not. K is greater than or equal to 1. So k value here is 2. 2 is greater than or equal to 1. Yes, this condition is satisfied. So whenever this condition is satisfied, you have to enter the, you have to check the time slot. Is time slot of, check time slot of, what is the k? What is that k? 2. Is the time slot of k 2 is empty or not? Check here. Is the time slot of 2 is empty? Yes. Then fill. Why I am filling? Because whenever it is empty, then the time slot of k is should be assigned with the job of I. So fill time slot of 2 is equal to job of I means 2. So what is the job of 2? Job of 2 is A1. So fill it. A1. So A1 is filled. Now go for the step 3. Now I is equal to 3. So what is I is equal to 3 means? A4. So this is job A4. So now check whether this job A4 is satisfying the condition or not. So the same process, index I is k is equal to minimum of D max comma deadline of I. So that is equal to k is equal to minimum of D max of maximum deadline maximum is 3 and deadline of 3 is 2. Deadline of 3 is 2. So what is the minimum value? K is equal to 2. So is k is greater than or equal to 1? Yes. Is k is greater than or equal to 1 because the algorithm you are checking. So now check time slot of k is empty or not. Check. time slot of K is empty or not. Means time slot of 2 you have to be checked. 2 is not empty. Why it is not empty? Because the value is already assigned here. So in the 2 already A1 is assigned. So whenever it is not empty, it has to break and we have to decrease the value. So this is not empty, then because it breaks this while loop and enters here. Now set K is equal to K minus 1. Reduce. K is equal to K minus 1. Okay. So after that I have to check everything. Whenever K is equal to K minus 1. Now again go. I is equal to 3. Now K reduced to 2. 2 minus 1. 1. Now K becomes 1. Again check. Is K greater than or equal to 1? That means 1 greater than or equal to 1. Yes. So whenever it is yes, it enter into this statement. Check if time slot of K is empty. I think no, because time slot of 1. So already the time slot of 1 is already filled, is not empty. So whenever it is not satisfied, I have to break the while loop and I have to reduce. K is equal to K minus 1. Now the K becomes I is equal to 3, K is equal to 0. Again check. Is K greater than or equal to 1? 0 is greater than or equal to 1? No. So this condition fails. So we will move to next job. We are moving to next job. We are just discarding job 4. Why we are discarding job 4? Because it is not satisfying the algorithm. It's just whenever we are decreasing until K is reducing, we are checking each and every slot whether it is free or not. So the first slot is also not free. So it's checking whenever it decreases to 0, it's checking 0 is greater than or equal to 1. No, it is not greater than or equal to 1. So we will move to next job. Now coming to the step 4. In the step 4, now it here, that is the job 3. So next it comes to job 3. So this will be over and coming to here, that is index I is equal to 4. So now K is equal to minimum of D max comma deadline of I. K is equal to minimum of D maximum is 3 and deadline of 4 is, what is the deadline of 4? 3. So then the minimum value is 3. So now check. K is greater than or equal to 1. That is 3 greater than or equal to 1. Yes, this condition is satisfied. So whenever it's satisfied, it enter into this. Now I have to check time slot of K is empty or not. That is time slot of 3. Is time slot of 3 is empty? Yes, time slot of 3 is empty. So then you have to fill, what we have to fill, the time slot of K should be assigned with the job of I. What is the job of I? I means 4. Job of 4. So that is the time slot of job of 4 is, so this job of 4 is A3. So now time slot of 3 should be assigned with A3. So fill A3 value here. Okay. So fill with A3. So now time slots are all full. Time slot is full. So we have to stop here. We have to stop here. So what are the required job sequence here? So therefore the required job sequence is A2, A1, A3. So what is the maximum profit of A2, A1, A3? Therefore maximum profit is, what is the A2? 100 plus A1 60 plus A3 20. So total 180 is the maximum profit that you earn for this job sequence by using the deadlines. So this is about the job sequencing with deadline. Thank you.